Hello, welcome to another episode in our Open Educational Resources OER series. So what I have here, that's my driver's license. Now, is this episode about driver's license? No, it is not. But yes, it is, because it has to do with copyright and licensing issues. Now, copyright and licensing issues are extremely important in the world of OER, because we want to be able to indicate that this production of mine or this resource of mine is open for all to use, and what degree of openness am I expecting it to have. Of course, there's a spectrum from public domain, just there for anybody to use, and up to the other end here where it's completely copyrighted. But in between, you now have the Creative Commons licensing scheme, and that's going to be the heart of the matter for this episode. I trust you will benefit from it and learn how you can license your OER or your work using any of the schemes. Yes, so how do we intend to spend the next 20 minutes together? That's the time that I've estimated for this presentation. I have three questions that we'll be rubbing our minds on. The first one is, what is copyright? And the other, what are the different forms of licenses? You recall that the title of this session is Copyright and Licensing Issues. I put theory, as you notice, I put theory here, theory. This is because we'll just be discussing, dropping grammar there. Then the third question will answer practically. How do I get a Creative Commons license for my work? Before I go on, let me let you know that I'm not a lawyer. I don't have any legal training, but I'll just do the best I can from the point of view of a layperson who can understand some bits of these things. Talking about lawyers, now there's a story of Adamu. Adamu told his lawyer, see, my neighbor owes me 5,000 naira and the man just wouldn't want to pay up. So what do you think I should do? The lawyer asked him, do you have any proof, Mr. Adamu, that he owes you that money? Adamu said, no, I don't have any proof. Okay then. The lawyer then told Adamu, you write him a letter asking him for the 10,000 naira that he owes you. Adamu said, look, my friend, the man owes me 5,000 naira. How should I write him that kind of letter? The lawyer said, yeah, precisely. That's what you should do. Then when he replies that, oh no, I don't owe you 10,000 naira, I only owe you 5,000 naira, that is the proof that you want. Now, we are going to be walking through a spectrum during the course of these 20 minutes, and it's open and close. Now that takes me back in time. Fela Razon Kuti, this popular musician, talked about open and close. We have been living in a world of open and close with regard to educational resources. Open, public, make everything available to people in the public domain, and close in the copyright. I mean, you can't just infringe on my copyright on a resource that I've prepared. But over time, I'm looking at evolution. Some people came up and said, look, I want to be able to share my material, my resource with others. How do I get a license? I don't want copyright. I don't want full copyright. I don't want to be completely public. And so we now have what we call the Creative Commons licenses, which we're going to be looking at some details about shortly. Now, just talking about open and close, I see over time that we have two groups of people in academia with regard to sharing resources. We have the hoarders, which are called closed minds, and we have those who want to share, which are called open minds. Interestingly, the hoarders are the old brigade, all these old professors who were very quick to copy materials from Wikipedia, download from everywhere, and used to build their lecture notes and textbooks. And of course, they are then hesitant to share the educational resources. Good news is that hoarders, your days are getting numbered. Those who want to share, we have a new dawn dawning. It's a new dawn for those who want to share. So talking about the spectrum now, we're going to begin to move from the right copyright. We're going to move from the closed system all the way to the open system. I'm going to use the analogy of bus stops. It's just like traveling, for those of you, if you are not in Lagos, welcome to Lagos. So traveling between Ikeja and Yaba, that you can make about 6, 7, 8 bus stops. So let's take this to be a bus stop, close the copyright, and then you think there are 3 bus stops here. No. We have 6 bus stops here, bus stops that we're going to be stopping. All the licenses are here, the 6. So we're going to come with copyright license, we're going to come with all the 6 Creative Commons licenses, and then the public domain. So we're going to have bus stop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 on the right side of the spectrum. Now, copyright. We also have copyleft. Have you heard that? Oh, yes, there is copyleft. Copyleft is the one open source, software, on this. We're going to be coming back to it as we go along. So let's take on bus stop number 1. What is copyright? Well, it's any form of protection for your work, the original work of the author, that's protected by law. And it grants the creator of the original work exclusive rights for its use and distribution. But of course, it's limited. There's a time limit on it. What's the time limit? You see, if the author dies, 70 years after that, the copyright is still valid. Of course, you can look at the copyright laws in different countries, and but this is almost like standard, globally. Now, this is a copyrighted book. I did talk about the days of hoarders are gone, so the dark times are over. Yes, this is a book I read it by Professor Obafemi, a member of the National Steering Committee of the Open Educational Resources of Nigeria. So this is a book. It's copyrighted. So I cannot now. It's on the right side of that spectrum. I cannot, as an open educational resource user, now come to and say no. Maybe Professor Obafemi isn't holding the copyright. Maybe it's the publisher that's holding the copyright. So this is copyrighted. That's a book. Now let's look at some articles. Now there are 2 articles here. Published 1991 in Science Education and International Journal of Science Education. This is published by John Wiley, and this is published by, I think, also John Wiley. Now, these authors, Okebukola and Jegede, do not hold the copyrights. We have ceded that copyright to John Wiley. Jegede and Okebukola do not hold the copyright. We have ceded the copyright to this. So these are copyrighted articles, and they cannot be OER except you ask John Wiley for Science Education to release the copyright to you. So these are copyrighted articles, and we looked at copyrighted books. So how does copyright affect OER? Can you answer that question? I'm waiting. Oh yes, I can see you have answered that. It inhibits the direct use of the material. I just made allusion in the last 2 slides. And for you to use the thing, you got to beg the the copyright owner. Beg, you can say I put in inverted commas. Means you got to apply, you ask for permission, please release part of this work for me to use, and all of that. And that may take a little while. And if, God help you, you use the resource without permission, then you'll be in deep trouble. You'll be in deep financial trouble. Possible Bafemi can decide, okay, so our big daddy won't sue me. He may sue me, but he will just charge little money. So you can be in financial trouble. So we are finished with this bus stop, the closed one, the copyright. Now we're now going to move through the 6 bus stops here. Creative Commons. There are 6 licenses that we'll be looking at. And so talking about license, Professor Obafemi is the president of the Nigerian Academy of Letters, a fellow of the Academy, and he's the lettered man in our NSC, National Steering Committee. And we, the American English, as a noun is an S. In British as a noun is a C. We decided to settle for the British one, so not to mix the two. Of course, the choice is anybody's. You can decide to stick with one rather than mix them up. So you can see, matter of license. So what's a license now? The license we want to talk about now is the permission to use something, to permit to use, to use a document and the other things. And you see, if I went to Professor Oluwabafemi that I want to use part of that book, he is the licensor. If he releases that thing to me, he's the licensor. He's giving me the thing. And I, receiving it, am the licensee. So we can also define the territory to which that license applies. In other words, we can say, okay, this license so it applies only to Nigeria. Or we can say it is international. But in most cases, they take it on the international. When we come to getting a license for Creative Commons, it will give us an option. Where do you want the jurisdiction to be? So we are coming to the bus stops. The Creative Commons people enters Creative Commons to help us in OER. Now, Creative Commons is a non-profit organization established January 15, 2001, 16 years ago, by these three people. And I've labeled them the three musketeers, Lawrence Lessig, Hal Aberson, and Eric Eldred. These are the two people who have helped to create or stimulate, create is the word, create the Creative Commons system to give us these licenses for OER. So what are these licenses? They are copyright licenses, free of charge. They are known as Creative Commons licenses. You can see this CC. We're going to be talking about CC all through now. CC, Creative Commons, free of charge to the public. And it allows you, the creator, to decide which rights you want to reserve for yourself and which rights you want to waive. There are 6 of them, as I said. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are going to decode all of this in the next 3 minutes. You have the Creative Commons 4.0. That's the one that is on now. Today is October 3rd, 2017. Before this time, you have Creative Commons 3.0, but whichever one, all these ones still apply. So now look at these symbols of this logo, Creative Commons logo. Now just watch this carefully. This is CC. That's Creative Commons. Now this one is a person. That is me, by me. I'm the one that the thing should be attributed to. I'm the creator of that thing. Maybe this video, I'm the creator. So this is by. Let's see, yeah. So this is by. Now this one shows no money, no dollar. So this is non-commercial. Let me tell you again. This CC Creative Commons, you have it as part of the code, and this one is by. That's the attributing to a person. This one is that no commercial thing is involved. You are not going to use the thing for any commercial purpose, so no dollar. So this is NC, non-commercial. So I take it again, CC Creative Commons by, this is by the person, and this one is NC, non-commercial. You can't use my work for any commercial purpose. Now this one is non-derivatives, ND. That means, look, what you are taking from me is what you should just use. You are not going to modify it. You are not going to translate it. You are not going to. So it's non-derivatives. In other words, if I'm seeking for a license and I don't want anybody to mess up with my work, just use it as it is. I'm going to now say, look, I'm going to put this one there, ND, non-derivatives. And then the this other last one, this non-derivative, this other one is, you can see sharing, share alike. Share alike. Everybody just share the thing alike. So after this generic understanding of this, let's now move on to the licenses one by one, not in any particular order. So this one is CC by. You can see the two symbols, CC and then by this person. So this Creative Commons by attribution. What does it mean? It means that this is my work. Anybody can use this, and it's a building block for all the others. So, but all you must do is to give me appropriate credit. And what does appropriate credit mean? Creative Commons defines it as the name of the creator and attribution party. That is, you go to let people know, say this work from Olu Jegede that you are using has been attributed to Olu Jegede. You can either mention it by his name or you put a link to that particular resource that Professor Olu Jegede has developed, or Olu Obafemi's book, or Abubakar Rashid, or Suleiman Ramon Yusuf, or anybody else. So that is this one. This is actually the one that I selected for this video. That is Creative Commons, yes, by me. Just attribute it to me, and then you can use it as much as you like. Let's take the second one. This is CC by SA. That's how you call it. CC by SA. As you notice, this CC by will be part of all of them. In other words, you got to attribute it to somebody. That's by. So the symbols CC by SA, share alike. So Creative Commons by attribution, share alike. Now I'm going to pause here to ask you, what does this mean? Yes, some of you got it, others got it, everybody got it. So what did you get? You got it to mean that this work of yours, they must attribute it to you. They are free to mix it, to remix, to tweak, to build upon it, and if you like, share for commercial purpose, because I don't have any logo here which says don't sell. And this is clearly there to, you see, what when I said copy left, that's is like this one now. It's just like open. Just use it any way you like and all that, but just let people know that I'm the one who has authored it. So that's the copy left thing that I mentioned, which is free and open source for software. So Hawkins 2017, use a nice analogy that is like, if you have the material and it's like hitting the save button. That means saving everything like that instead of the save as button. So this one, number 2, CC by SA. Creative Commons by attribution, share alike. Let's go on to the third one. Third one is CC by ND. I told you that ND is non-derivative. You can't change this thing. You can't change what I have. You attribute it to me, but just don't change anything anyway. So if you have any material, any book, any video, any lecture note, any conference paper that I want to get license for, if I want it, anybody not to modify it, this is what you're going to, the license you should seek. Your work can be shared, but must not be changed in any way. That's made of non-derivative. So we're moving to number 4. Number 4 is CC by NC. What does CC by NC mean? CC by NC, you can see NC, non-commercial. My friend, don't make money on my sweat. That's what this one is meaning. That this one translates to me. That yes, I have this material, I've sweated for it to produce it, I'm making it free. Then you, my friend, don't you go ahead and turn it to commercial matter and make money out of it. So this is CC by NC, Creative Commons by attribution, non-commercial. So you can share it, not used anyway for commercial purposes. So let's go on to the next one, the last but one. We're the last bus stop for the Creative Commons category, the spectrum. So we have CC by NC by SA, Creative Commons by attribution, that's this one, non-commercial and share alike. So others can remix it, can build upon the work and share it as much as you can, that's share alike, but not for commercial purposes. So let's go to the last one, CC by NC ND, that is Creative Commons by attribution, non-commercial, non-derivative. You can see this one is very, very tight. In fact, it's the strict test of the licenses and allows sharing of the original only. So these are the 6, and you have to make up your mind. Nobody forces anybody. So just make up your mind. This work of yours that you have produced as an OER, how do you want it to be licensed? So when you get a license, just slap it on it, and that's it. So in the practical part of this session, we shall be looking at that bit. So The left side of the spectrum, we've gone here, we've gone from close, gone here. Now we're here, the open, the public domain. Here, the public domain bit. So what's the public domain? Public domain is CC0. Interesting. CC or CC0. That is, no rights reserved at all. Free of any copyright restrictions, anything, whatever. It's quite, just go ahead and use whatever. Carries no designation. So it's CC0. It's very broad designation. So that is the thing. Now let's look at the spectrum. So we're going from copyright here, which is tight, all the way to loose. This copyright, this copyleft, public domain. So all the others are in this order, the degree, that way. So as I said, you decide on which one you want. Now if you are remixing, there's also some kind of general rule. If you are remixing, if for instance, Professor Obafemi's book is licensed as this one, CC BY, and I'm mixing something from Jegede and Okebukola, assume that article as a put in the public domain. It's an open access journal, for instance, and it's also like CC BY. So we can mix them like this. These other ones can be mixed like this, and you take this. That's the thing that will be the resultant. But you can see, just use this chart to determine which of the licenses the remixing will come up with. So let's go on now to the heart of the matter. How do you now get a license, all of these CCs, for your OER? That is it's a three-step process. Step number one, first you decide on the kind of license you want. I'm going to get one of my resources, and then I'm going to say, look, this is what I want, and practically. And then the next thing is for you to go to the Creative Commons website and make your request, and then obtain your license free. And then the last thing is just slap on that license, to your work. It's as easy as that. So let's get on with the practical and see how it goes. Yeah, so coming back to the steps, we decide on the kind of license, we go to the Creative Commons website, and inside the license to work. So what is the resource that I want to give the license? Now let me take you to the resource. Yeah, so this is the resource, and it's a lecture I gave. I'm going to give examples of a lecture, of a video, and a few other things. So, and then they all follow the same pattern. Maybe I just give this as an example. So this is the resource that I want to get a license. I want it to be open educational resource. So I gave this convocation lecture September 13, not too long ago, about 3 weeks ago. And it was in honor of the graduating cadets of the 64 regular course and postgraduate students of Nigerian Defense Academy. So what kind of thing do I want? Let me think. Yes, I want it to be, anybody can use it, but they won't have to use it for commercial purposes. So can you recall the kind of license I should be seeking? Yes, you are right. That is CC BY, that is Creative Commons license by me, attributable to me, and then non-commercial. So how do I then proceed? At step 2, let me go back now. The step 2 is for us to go to the Creative Commons website to make our request and obtain the license. So let's go. A roundabout way of getting to the Creative Commons website is just to Google it. I mean, if you can't recall the URL, that is the site, just Google it, Creative Commons. And it will take you to this Creative Commons where we share, everyone wins. That's one of our own adopted logos, so of phraseology. So we'll have to share your work and all of that. Let's even go to the main site here. So this is the main site, the Creative Commons site. It's asking me to donate. I never get money now, so I have to tell yes to donate. So this is share your work, use and remix, and what we do as a blog. So I want to share my work. So you click on this, and it comes to here, and it's very simple. Choose features, optional info, get the license. As simple as this. So you click on get started, and it takes you to this. So these are the license features, and it's all these radio buttons. If you just select one, it will see what we have now. By default, it takes it to be CC BY. That is, you have allow adaptations of my work to be shared. Yes. Allow commercial use of my work. Yes. So that gives me only CC this one. But as I mentioned, I do not want my work to be used for commercial purposes. So I will say allow commercial use of my work. I say no. So you're going to see now something pop up here. And that is what? Yes, I think you got it. Non-commercial NC. So let's see. So the logo of dollar this, and that's NC one, by the way. So this dollar thing is there. Now let's experiment with this. Allow adaptations of a work to be shared. No. Let's see the change. You can see that is this is non-derivatives. Then if I say yes, if I say yes here, you notice that this one will come out. Come out means that's PGNO will leave this place. Let's see it. Yeah, so you can see. So you just select your license. Now, what I want, anybody can use it, but you can't use it for commercial. So this is the thing that I want. So let's move on now to get the license. Let's get this part is optional, but filling it out will add machine readable metadata to suggested HTML. Let's fill it. So the title of my work, let me get back to this, human security education in Nigeria. I'm copying now and pasting. Simple as that. Attribute work to name, Peter A. Okebukola, that's it. Attribute work to URL. Well, if you can leave this one blank, but I'm just going to put peterokebukola.com there. Source work URL. No, that's fine. Format of work. You see, this is you have all of this. This is a text. You have audio, you have video, you have multiple formats, text, database, dataset, interactive. So this one is a text. I put as text there. The license mark, HTML plus that. You see, I would like, you can see it is actually changing it here as I went along. Now, I can have it, if I put it as offline, it's going to take all of these things away like this. You can see. But I would advise that you just take HTML, this one. Just asking for a web page, but not to worry. So what we're going to do now, two things maybe. If I'm going to put this on as an HTML file online, then all I need to do is just copy this one. I copy everything in here. I copy and then paste it in the HTML file. Let's assume that, okay, I had this one before now. Okay. So let's assume that I have this and I paste it there. So I've just copied and pasted that other one there. So what you're going to see is this. You are going to see this one in the on the website. This one, Human Security and Higher Education in Nigeria by this, it's licensed under this. But you see, I don't want that one. What I want is this. For that, my text. So I'm going to just copy this one. Copy. And I will come to the lecture. This one here. You can put it at the base. You can use it as a footer, here and the footer at the end. But I found out that one shortcut in doing it is just to get a text box. Draw a text box. I can draw a text box here on the first page. Or by the way, let me get another blank page. Put it here, and then edit. You can edit this one. Yep. So you're going to have this. This is what you're going to copy to that place. Human Security and Higher Education in Nigeria by this. That's another Creative Commons. So this is the one that I'm going to put in that box. We can make it smaller. Let me make it smaller. So all we are doing at this time is, yeah, that's good. All we're doing at this time is just editing it. And then I've copied, okay, let me just show it. Basically, copy it. And then I come back to this one. And then I paste it there. Where's paste? Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so that's just it. It's as simple as this. This process, but I don't want this video to be longer than have intention. I've overrun the time to about 5 minutes. So what so that's it. You can actually then copy this. I'm copying it now and going to the last page of this, and then pasting it. So it appears both the first page and then I will save it. So it's already saved, and then you can turn this one to I can save this one as a PDF. Let's see, it's a PDF. It's okay there. So that's the one that I can then share as my OER. So you can see it. So it's there. Oh wow, this is quite very, very wonderful. Very easy. Very easy. So it's not appearing anywhere else, but you can go to see it at the end. So that's it. So it's as easy as that. So what have we done in this? We have decided on the license I want to use. I went to Creative Commons to make my request. I obtained my license and I inserted it in my work. So yeah, so as we close, let's look at a few warnings. When you have developed your open educational resource or material that you want to present as open educational resource, you do not just dive into Creative Commons website and begin to grab the license. You must ensure that all materials that are not yours, you seek permission for those materials before you commit to getting the CC license. What do I mean by this? I mean, for instance, that you have a table in your text, in your article, or in your lecture, and that table is table generated by somebody else. So you got to take the permission of that somebody else that you want to commit this your paper to OER. If not, that person, maybe that person wouldn't want to have his or her material made freely available to people, and there can be an issue. Another one is if you have you went online. Let me just demonstrate that a little in a way. Yeah, you're looking for some pictures or some images for your slides, and we all do this. You just go online. Let's assume that I'm looking for pictures for Abubakar Rashid. And I look at images, and it gives me all of this. And you think by my just going here to grab something and putting it there, it becomes mine. It does not. For instance, this is a Daily Trust image. This is a Guardian image. This is another Guardian image. This is an Oxoneer TW image, and so on. Now, you could get some that have their premature of copyright on them. Even with this, you can get away with these chronicles of education. You can get away with just grabbing this and using them. But if they are copyrighted, you got to seek the permission of the person who holds the copyright before you use this in your slides for OER. So the long and short of this story is that if you have an open educational resource, a material that you want to put as open educational resource, you must ensure that anything in there that is not originally your own and is copyrighted by somebody else, you seek permission to use it before you get the license from Creative Commons. Another thing to note is that the fact that I mentioned this in earlier, that the fact that you don't see a copyright symbol or you don't see a CC symbol does not mean that the item is not copyrighted. And anything that's labeled CC is enforceable under copyright law. Whereas if it is public domain, no enforcement, not legally operative. And with the exception of CC by NC, can you recall what NC is? Non-commercial. CC by attribution, non-commercial license. Every other Creative Commons work must carry the same license as the original. In summary, what did we learn in this? It has gone up to about 26 minutes. I'm sorry I overshot my time. We learned what copyright is and different forms of licenses, and we got to learn how the Creative Commons, how you can get your license. If you have any questions, feel very free to send me an email and send me a text, and I'll be very delighted to respond to you. I'd like to thank you for your attention, and hope to see you in our next, in the next episode of the OER series. For now, bye from me, Peter Okebukola.